What up, Chipper Chaps? This is Chipper Chap Chat, episode 8.
8.
Not 10.
Not
We're
10.
not including reviews.
Or not 11 if we included the turtles.
Alright. Episode 8. Drop that number.
Yep.
It's good to see you guys again, and by see you guys, I mean not see you guys at all. I'm looking at a monitor. But you know, you never know. Maybe we'll see. We it's nice that we've gotten a couple emails. So
I know.
We'll definitely address those at the end of the
nice.
show.
It's nice to know that. I think, if anything, like, you know, we see the play count, and
Right.
you know, so that's obviously people have been clicking, but the fact that people are listening enough to actually like, hey, I'm gonna send these guys an email.
Right.
That's quite nice.
And please, guys, seriously, if you're listening, do it. We'll definitely answer them.
Yeah,
We're
like
gonna
we'll
a couple of
answer
them today,
every
so.
single email we'll get. I promise you that.
Yeah. So do it. Let's see what's first on the agenda. I guess first things first. Let's do a quick roundup of the superhero shows we've been checking out this week. We had a new episode of Shield, Flash, and Arrow.
Yep.
I guess let's talk about Shield first.
Shield, yeah. Skies in that where that
In
place.
the afterlife.
Yeah, is that what they call it? I forget. That's what
That's
they
what
call
it's
it,
called,
right?
yeah.
Afterlife, yeah. And she's with the other Inhumans.
And afterlife is, I guess, the Inhuman training area or something. I don't even really know what it's for.
No, I don't either.
But it's cool to see her kind of. She got the reveal that she's been training with her mom,
That was very nice.
and we got a little bit of a hint on what Reyna's powers were. or
Yeah,
Reyna's
that was nice. I'm like, hey, with that, you know, spoon feeding us, they were like, oh, maybe it's that.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting if she ends up being a clairvoyant, since she was working for the clairvoyant, which ended up not even having that ability. Now she gets that ability.
Now
so.
she literally is a clairvoyant, which is pretty dope when you think about it. Kind of went.
She
full
doesn't know
circle.
it yet.
No, she doesn't. Although that electric doctor.
Yeah, what did they call him? Spark plug.
Yeah.
And we got the big reveal of how Agent May got her nickname of the Cavalry.
That was pretty messed up, dude. That was dark.
It was, but I'm glad they finally told us what happened, because they had been hinting at what she had done that whole time and all the rumors of her taking out 30 guys and all this different stuff.
Wasn't true, really. It was kind of, but not. It was
wasn't really-
exaggerated.
She still definitely
Took out a
went through
couple.
some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, she definitely fought her way in there.
Yeah,
to
she
do all that
definitely
stuff,
did, but it wasn't as like she didn't like kill the Hulk.
Right, she did. Yeah, it wasn't that, but she did have to do something pretty tragic. I won't spoil it, but she definitely had to do something pretty tragic. So that was cool. It was cool to get that reveal, and I think I like so far where they're going with the direction of it.
I am
but
too. Did you
I'm
say?
really curious.
Did you say that Shield was to have a spin-off?
Yeah, that's what the word is on the streets, is that they are
What would
shopping
it,
up
what would it
spin-off.
spin off to?
They haven't revealed any of that yet. I still don't know. I mean, it could be more Inhuman stuff, but I really don't think it's Inhumans, because I don't think they would give them another show before there's even the movie, because they definitely are not going to do the royal family or Attilan or Adelan or however you say the kingdom name. I don't think that they're going to do that outside of the movie, just purely because they can't afford to. It would.
Yeah, it would be pricey.
Yeah, they're gonna. You know that when they do Attilan for the first time, it's gonna be
Epic.
Yeah, it's gonna be epic. They got to have a huge castle, and those characters have to be intense. I mean, you can't do Medusa on TV and it not look dumb.
Yeah,
So-
the thing is, you know what? You can do her on TV. It's just gonna look dumb.
Exactly. You can't do it and not look dumb. So I don't think they're gonna risk doing that. And they're also gonna try and get as big names as they can, I'm sure, for some of those parts, and that's kind of expensive if they're gonna try and put them on the show. So I imagine it'll be something different. Maybe some new characters with powers. I imagine it might be something like the spin-off show that they're talking about doing with Arrow, where it's like a team thing.
Mm.
I think it could be interesting if it's something like Secret Warriors or something like that, where they can use like Mockingbird on it, and get a couple people with powers. They won't move over Sky because she's definitely Agents of Shield cast, but I could imagine them moving Mockingbird over there, maybe moving Deathlock over, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, they got Deathlock still. That's correct.
And I think that the show that guy was doing is no longer on, right?
Was he
I know.
doing a show?
I think he was doing another show. That's why he kind of disappeared for a while.
Oh, okay. I guess that's not going on anymore, right?
Yeah, I don't think that show's still on, so maybe he'll be part of that. Who knows? But yeah, I think the direction they're going is cool. I'm really curious about the stuff with Coulson and his like secret protocol that
Yeah,
he's been.
what's with all that stuff? I'm
Hey,
like,
it's secret to us too. So
I know, but it's like there's secrets going on everywhere, and you've got
that's
the in
spy ship,
quotation mark real shield,
right?
where they're all like, all super serious and whatnot.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I can't imagine that they're not trying to do some sort of setup. And it's got a. I think the show should keep going past Ultron, so I imagine they've got to do some sort of tie-in. There's got to be some sort of
They
connection
have to.
to
They
Age of Ultron.
have to.
But
And plus,
here's
with like
hoping
Ultron and
season.
stuff, we don't even know like how long the period is that takes place in.
We don't, but I've got to imagine because of how they've done it with all the other movies that there'll be some sort of tie-in on the show.
They'd have to be. It'd be crazy
Because
if
they
outside.
they did one for Thor, they did one for or they did one for not Agents of Shield, Winter Soldier, obviously. So I think that they go past Ultron, but I don't think that they'll still be on the air in time for Ant-Man. So luckily, they won't have to tie into that at all. But yeah, it was a good episode. Looking forward to next week's.
Defo.
Get to see what's going on with the how they're going to get Fitz out of that bathroom.
Or how he's gonna get himself out of the bathroom.
Right. And next up, Flash.
Flash. Super team up, wasn't it?
Yeah, they did the. Was that team up episode?
Well, when you think about it, I mean, like Adam was there.
Oh, yeah, Adam did show up on that episode, huh?
Yeah.
And he got to go into the lair and find out who the Flash is.
I like how so many people know who the Flash is at this point.
Yeah, like all the teams know. I'm really surprised that they showed Eddie. I don't even remember that reveal happening, to be honest with you.
I do. It was when the old man was like, because we have to, we have to let him know because he was getting all sus about the dad.
Oh,
I don't know any of these names. I'm the best.
yeah. Yeah, I don't even remember it happening though. I saw the previously on yada yada with.
Although the whole where it's like his girlfriend is like, if you don't tell me, we're done.
Yeah, that seemed random, dude.
Right? And I'm like, does he have to honestly tell her everything?
I'm just like, does she not realize that he is a cop?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Like,
thinking. I'm like,
there
there
could
are
be tons of stuff he can't tell her.
exactly like that would actually,
He's legally not allowed to tell her.
that too. Or it's like,
Uh,
I can't let you know because if they find out that they're gonna
right.
kill you.
Yeah, so Iris continues to be sort of annoying to me. I don't, but maybe they'll figure it out eventually. I think that's kind of my problem with Arrow too. For a long time was Laurel. It seems like they're not really sure what to do with the
With the
love
ladies.
interest characters. Um, but I don't think that Iris ever turns into a superhero or anything.
Nope.
So they can't just go, fuck it, make her the canary and that will be good. So I don't know what they're gonna do with Iris. Maybe they'll kill her off.
Maybe. That could be
I
something
mean, I
that they do.
personally found the other chick that he was dating for a little while more interesting anyway. The one that was supposed to date Wally.
Mm.
Um, The other chick that worked at that newsroom.
Who just happened to disappear all of a sudden.
Right? She's just gone. She's like, well, we're not dating anymore. See you forever.
See,
Um,
I don't work here ever again.
yeah. But the episode was good. I don't remember the full.
Um,
Who was the
s-
villain in that episode?
I
Oh,
promise.
that was
Oh,
the one where Cisco kept having like flat. He was
yeah,
getting
yeah.
dreams of like daydreams of him being murdered from
Him,
the
yeah,
previous
him
timeline,
getting
which is
killed.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
No idea how that works.
No idea yet. It's yeah again like maybe because he had direct connection to the Speed Force, it's
Right.
kind of yeah affecting him in that sense. The
Maybe
episode
that'll
villain
be a
was the
tie-in to the Bug-Eyed
was
Bandit.
yeah, which is the dumb name.
It is, but what are you gonna do? It was they needed a character that was a villain because it's actually an Atom villain.
Wow,
Um,
that's just still stupid.
but Adam was guest starring, so they used an Adam villain, and I think it was interesting that they decided to make a gender swap character. So they turned it into a female, and made her a hacker, so she's kind of like a rival for Felicity,
Mm.
which was, I guess, fun. She controls robot bees for
I find it funny that Ray Palmer ended up taking one of those bees in the end and is like, I'm gonna basically steal this shit.
Yeah, and that they keep making hints about him eventually getting smaller. Like
Yeah.
he's got the nanotech in his body now, and he's like, oh, the power source was just too big. The key is to make it smaller. Like there's a whole lot of play about
Mm-hmm.
is he gonna eventually get that ability? Like I think they might do it.
They're probably gonna do it, but then it's like, yeah, Ant-Man did it in the big screen. It looks amazing. So
Right? It's
what are
way
we gonna
hard to
do
do that.
about that?
Yeah, then they gotta build a bunch of huge props and stuff.
Yeah,
That sounds difficult.
it does.
But I thought that the Emily Kinney or whatever, the chick that played Bug-Eyed Bandit
Yeah,
from Walking Dead, I think she did fine.
she did a good job. I mean, like it
It
wasn't
was cool
annoying.
to hear her without the Southern accent.
Yeah, I forgot about that entirely, and I'm like, oh
Right,
yeah, that's right. She was acting.
right. That's how it was for me too, watching Daredevil because of Deborah Ann Wall. Like normally she has a Southern accent because she was on True Blood, and that
Oh
takes place
yeah,
in like
dang.
Louisiana.
That
It
totally didn't even cross my mind at all.
Yeah, and she's redhead on that show too, so it was interesting seeing her blonde and without an accent. It was bizarre.
Still dope though.
Um, she very, very.
So dope.
But yeah, she did a good job,
Yeah.
and Flash was a pretty good episode. I'm looking forward to seeing how they're gonna or what they're gonna do about Cisco's,
Yeah, he's
flashbacks, quote
all
unquote.
he's all flashback type stuff.
Yeah,
It's good though.
and Arrow. Arrow
Arrow.
was a pretty big episode. This one's gonna be harder to talk about because there's some pretty big
And it
things that
just
happen.
like it happened like a couple I
Yeah,
suppose,
and
yeah.
so
It's the
I
most
don't really
recent
want
of
to
the
spoil
lot,
it,
so I
but
don't know if you want to
there's a
spoil too
big
much.
death and another character leaves the show.
Yeah.
And, from what I understand, okay, well, I guess I'm sort of spoiling it already,
All right,
but
how about this? We'll spoil it, so we're letting you know now. This aspect here is going to be spoiled.
right. So skip ahead 3 minutes or 4 minutes or
Something like that,
something
yeah.
if you don't want to know about it. But Roy Harper is seemingly gone. He bows out, and they wrote him off the show, and he's gone now.
Well, his contract I think was only for like 2 seasons.
It was only for 2 years, yeah.
And
And he's doing movies and shit now.
so good on him, good on the actor.
But he says he wants to come back and do guest stuff still.
That's
So
cool.
we'll see if how long that lasts and if
Yeah.
he'll actually do it. But yeah, Roy's gone. No more Arsenal. Um,
Which kind of sucks as I'm like they built him up quite a bit in the last 2 seasons.
they did, and I liked
Yeah,
Arsenal as
I
a
think
character. I
Arsenal's
liked Roy
great.
Harper.
His character was good because it was a nice
But
counterpart to
it was a
Batman.
little. I wish they would have called him Red Arrow. I wish they would have committed and called him that instead of Arsenal, though. But I guess he can't be Red Arrow unless there's a Green Arrow, and he hasn't gotten that name yet. Um,
Or
Although I
ever.
feel like
You think he's gonna?
once he had the sidekick that is wearing red, I think that automatically should have made the distinction of people starting to call them Red Arrow and Green Arrow just to distinguish between the two.
Absolutely, like, especially like when news reporters would talk about him, you know?
Right. You see those two in the street and you're like, "Oh, now there's two, but one of them's red." So there's a red arrow and a green arrow. That it writes itself.
It does, but they just,
Um,
like only they called him Arsenal.
right. So he's got to I guess they have to build up still cuz he's going to have that name eventually. They just, they're
Green
still
Arrow.
telling his origin story in a way. So,
It's a long
yeah,
origin.
Green Arrow. And I'm pretty sure that we're gonna get Speedy soon because they in the comics they've got a girl version of Speedy now, and I'm pretty sure that the show is going to reflect that before too long. But it was a good episode. Looking forward to more of that as well.
Defo.
On to superhero movie news for this week.
Yeah.
First things first, I guess there's the Batman versus Superman, Batman v Superman
Batman
teaser
v
trailer was
Superman. Yep.
released.
When is that? 20th, they say? 20th this month?
Yeah, supposed to be out on Monday.
Ooh, online or just on that like private screening
They said
nonsense?
it's going to be released on Monday.
Oh
I don't know what
dang,
that.
dude! Dang, dude! You see how they timed this, where it's like, oh, wait, Avengers is out in what this long? I don't know if it's all time, but still, it's cool.
Yeah, in Australia, that's only literally a couple days
Yeah.
before Avengers for you guys. We
Yep.
still have another week or so before we get it, but
I mean, frankly, it's about time.
yeah, but the what did you think of the teaser though?
A teaser. They didn't really show much.
It's the first time they've fully shown the suit in not a still.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, the
Now,
camera movement
granted,
and
it
stuff.
was the suit itself wasn't moving, but the camera was moving around it,
Mm-hmm.
so it did give us a better look at it. And for the first time though, the thing that it did do, which nobody's I guess surprised or anything, but it confirmed the colors because all the only other shot we had seen was black and white
What were the colors?
for the Batman suit thing.
What were the
Do you know what I'm
confirmed
talking
colors? No, no.
When they had shown the original pic of Affleck, like, or I guess it's still hard to tell because the shot of the bat suit is like in harsh blue light.
So it could literally be just a black suit or
Right,
gray.
so it could be all one color, but like people are speculating still, like, is the suit gray and have a black bat on it or yada yada? So we still have
Ah,
to.
dude, that would be so nice, wouldn't it?
It would be cool. And didn't did they show the suit at Comic-Con?
Yeah, I thought the cowl.
Oh, it was just the
Yeah,
cowl.
just a cowl.
See, then we still don't know. They're still messing with us, man.
Yeah.
But I did think that the texture of the suit was really interesting on the bat suit.
Mm.
It's like it almost looks like patched together. Like there's a bunch of it's like stitching in all kinds of crazy directions and
Yeah, it
stuff.
was like cross stitch. There's a bunch of cross stitches basically.
Yeah, it looks like the whole
Almost
thing is
almost
like
like webbed, if that makes
kind of,
sense.
yeah. It to me it looks like it's almost like if you see like paper mache sculptures.
Yes, yes, like really rough.
Yeah, it's like wrapped in something and then painted over that. Maybe it's supposed to be like Kevlar mesh or something weird like that, but uh they still, it's just the suits by themselves, but it's enough to get some people hyped.
Clearly, clearly. I know some people are like losing their minds about this, and I'm like, we don't see shit.
Right?
Calm your horses again. The movie's out when? Next year. We've still got so
Right.
long.
We do have some time.
We're gonna watch it. It's a fact. We're watching it. It's gonna happen.
Right.
I mean,
But,
honestly, if I see no trailers for this, I'm okay.
I want to see that suit in motion. I want to see it on Ben Affleck's body and I want to see him moving in it and I want to hear his voice because to me that's one of the big things, man. It's the same
Oh
thing
yeah,
with Joker
it's a make or break, isn't it?
because it's different for every person that plays Batman. and it's automatically distinct to that actor's interpretation. Some of them just use their own voice, like fucking George Clooney Batman. He's just
Garbage.
George Clooney the whole time.
He was garbage.
He doesn't change his voice at all.
Nope.
Val Kilmer, he kind of used his own voice, but it got a little bit more whispery. And then everybody knows Christian Bale's, Cookie Monster voice is one of the most popular. It's what people think of now when they think of Batman voice as a term.
Which is crazy because I'm like, Kevin Conroy, bro.
Yeah, Kevin Conroy, man, and his thing was cool too because he did sound distinctively different when he was Batman versus when he was Bruce.
Absolutely.
But it's not like it's not like rowdy metal
Absolutely.
music. But
Death metal.
but yeah, I'm really looking forward to hearing it. I wonder if they'll do something like Arrow kind of and modulate his voice.
They probably should. Like, the thing is, you can easily modulate it without even talking about it.
Yeah,
Like,
without
don't
making
make
it
a big
sound
deal about it
scary.
as well.
Yeah,
Like,
you don't even
that's
have to
just
mention it.
that's
It'll
what I'm
just
saying.
be
Just
he
let that
sounds
be
different
it.
when he's Batman.
Exactly. That's just how he sounds as Batman.
Yeah. But I really want to hear it and I really want to see it move. Once I see that suit move, that's like the make or break for me if he's gonna be good at it,
Oh, you see his neck just do that whole stiff neck thing. If I see that
You
neck,
think it's gonna be stiff neck?
I don't think so, dude. Like, I'm hoping it's not. I'm hoping it
Yeah,
just
I
looks
don't
the
think
way
they
it
would go
does.
backwards.
Yeah, it just seems bizarre if they did that way. But like, it would be nice if it's if he's got full mobility.
I'm sure I'm sure they're very aware of the stiff neck trope of Batman in the movies. I mean, clearly the Nolan ones were because they, made it more and more mobile for him to look around.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that whatever they made the cowl out of, it's probably made in a specific way so that he can look around. I don't think they'd make that mistake again. But who knows? Maybe they thought it was more important to get the look right and not so much what he moves like. But guess hopefully we find out soon. Hopefully if we find out Monday if he can move his neck or not. Um, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited to see it. I mean, but obviously I'm more excited for Avengers. But I really want to. I really just want to. I want Affleck to be good so people will stop talking shit.
That's the thing, right? You just want it to be good so that it's like, this is it. All right, listen, talk shit or not, this is Batman right now.
And you know what? It'll be way better for all of us if they're good. Let
That's
all the movies be good
That's
instead of going
exactly.
like, "Oh, this shit's on Marvel or shit's on DC." Let them all be
That's
good.
what.
We all win
Yeah.
as fans if they're all
I
good.
don't get that when people always say Marvel versus DC, and I'm like, dude,
Right.
we're the ones that are winning.
Right.
We
Yeah, so
as fans, as people who watch these things, we are winning.
yep.
We're getting all these things. I mean, sure, some aren't to our liking, but it is also, that being said, it's also its own thing. It hasn't like gone to you, personally and ripped up all your comics and say, "Yep, none of these exist anymore."
Right, that would be pretty tragic.
It'd be bizarre as well. I'm like, wow, that's a lot of effort for a studio to do. Just knocking down on my house and say, "Hey, where are your comics?" It's like, "It's over here." Just gonna burn them.
Fuck those
We've actually
comics.
burnt every single comic around the world. So the only thing that exists of these characters are the films. Deal with it.
Wow.
That's
That
weird.
would be pretty
That'd be
horrible.
really weird. I'm like, is this even a thing? Clearly. But yeah, like, we win if that happens. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. This Batman v Superman. I'll watch it. I'm watching it. This trailer, whatever it is, maybe it's the actual footage that they'd shown in San Diego. I know the people who had seen it already were like, "Yeah, we'd seen it already." Good on you. Good on you. You have to wait 2 years for the film. Had fun.
Yeah, I
Did you-
don't think
did
it'll
you
be
have
that
fun? Yeah, it's
because
got to be something different, right?
that Comic-Con footage is literally just him in the battle suit and then like pointing the bat signal in the air and then Superman shows up and his eyes light up. And I can't imagine that's going to be enough of a trailer really. That's just seeing two dudes move. That's not even really a trailer.
Yeah, it's almost
So
like that's
just
wait. It's like, wait. this was the reveal.
Right. And I think because of what the teaser was, it won't be that, you know. So, but who knows? Hopefully it's awesome, and then it gives us something else to look forward to
And
until it
talk
comes
about
out like a year from
a
now
year
or
from
whatever.
now, exactly. I think that you know what, that's pretty much one of the only issues that I have with this whole like not putting DC, in a negative light right now, but that's kind of one of the issues that I'm having with their releases of the film. It's people get hyped up and they hype up their films so much
Hmm.
too many years prior to the actual release of it that it's almost like, and I know that they keep reminding us, but then this constant reminder, it can get annoying.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's part of the issue of now that there's so many movies coming out and they're trying to build those hype trains so early that they kind of bleed into each other. We don't have enough time to have some cool down before we have to get excited for whatever the next thing
That's
is, you know.
exactly it. I'm like, oh, I'm excited already. It's like, oh, I gotta calm down myself. Oh, wait, there's another thing. Oh,
That's what I was telling Kanoy. It very much feels like they've now just made it so that all of the movies are just they're episodic. Now everything, especially now that all of them are connected, it's just like watching two of the most expensive television shows ever at once.
yeah.
And just now the episodes take a couple years to make, but but it's
A
just a
couple,
really long TV
couple, no
show.
doubt.
Yeah. But what else is there? Speaking, I guess, of Avengers, they've started putting out a bunch of Avengers TV spots.
Too many. We've watched a couple, but I've avoided a lot more than I've actually watched at this
Yeah,
point.
I've it's for me, it's the time has come to where I've got to stop watching them because at least with the couple I did see, which were primarily like actiony, it was the Hulkbuster versus Hulk thing and the Ultron confrontation on the ship where they like fight or whatever.
Okay, I've seen those two.
Yeah, and
Only like only gifs of them though, so I didn't even see the full clips.
no, I saw the actual clips and
Okay.
and they were rad, but I much rather would have seen them for the first time huge.
Big
But
screen.
it's just so hard to not look at them because I want to watch that shit now, and it makes it tougher because I really want to watch it. Like the Avengers movies in particular, that's childhood culmination of things I thought would never come true. Who'd ever thought they were going to make a full-on Avengers movie
Dude,
with all of them?
no
Let
chance.
alone two of them.
I
Let alone
know.
two of them, man.
Dude, two for now.
Yeah, and I
For
mean
now.
the last one was only 3 years ago, Jeff.
I know. I watched it again recently. It holds up still, man.
It really does. It really does. And now, we get to see it all happen again and leading directly up to Civil War. There's going to be Ant-Man and then Civil War. Ant-Man is the only movie between Avengers and Civil War, and that is crazy balls to me.
It's neat that that's how it is, right? But we still do have Shield.
We do have Shield for now,
Like,
and
when does that end? Do you know?
no, I'm sure it's got to be shortly after Avengers comes out, though. They can't have more than like 2, 3 episodes left, I imagine. Um,
So then there's literally going to be just a downtime.
well, yeah, I guess because
Okay.
this was the second half of the season, wasn't
Oh
it?
yeah,
That they
that's right.
started.
That's right. That's right. Oh,
Um, so yeah, I've got to imagine they don't have very many left. I don't even know what number of that episode was, uh,
yeah, no idea at this point.
but I'm pretty sure the last season was 22 episodes. And the one we just watched was Melinda, so that was episode
18 was it?
17, I
17.
think.
Okay.
So we have
5.
three more
Three
regular
more?
episodes, and then a two-part finale.
Oh, okay. Dang. And that's definitely post Avengers.
But like we've got only two episodes, or we've got the one regular episode and the two-part finale after Avengers comes out.
Hmm.
So
So that's post Avengers then.
yeah, like one of them comes out 4 days after Avengers comes out here,
Yeah.
and then one other one after that.
Which is the
Or I
double.
guess the double one. But
Oh,
it says
snap.
both of them come out the same day. So,
Crazy, dude.
but for you, you've got three episodes
After.
afterwards because it
After.
comes out on the 22nd for you, right?
Third. But yeah, 22nd is like advance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's an episode that comes out on the 21st here, so that's a couple days before, and then there's three episodes left, so pretty close to the end. And I'm wondering how that's gonna work too, because you guys get it early. If it's a tie-in thing, would be kind of strange, I imagine.
Yeah, because it's almost like, wait a second, we're seeing
Right.
stuff in advance. I mean, that's to be honest, it's not going to affect. It's not going to affect us in any way.
No, no, but it's just interesting to see how they're gonna handle that. But yeah, those TV spots, they're really fucking rad.
Hmm.
But I'm gonna try to avoid them just because I want to have some surprise. When the first Avengers movie came out, I watched literally everything, every spot that came out. There was a bunch of like B-roll footage that came out, and I watched it all. And I still enjoyed the movie just fine. I went and saw it like 4 or 5 times in the theater. Still, like I still loved it. It's not gonna make me like it less
Yeah,
that I've seen all that stuff, but I do want
you want that
that
surprise,
element
yeah,
of like,
yeah.
holy shit, I don't know what's gonna happen. And there's still some of that. We still haven't seen
Dude, not even
the
some.
Vision doing
There
anything
is
in it.
a lot of that. Like, all right, you know how there's some people in the media who've already watched it.
Right.
You know, the reviewers and stuff, and
Uh-huh.
they're allowed to start talking about it next week. Are you gonna watch those things?
Them talking about it?
Yes.
Uh,
I'm going to avoid it
I mean,
until I
I
watch it.
will avoid it as far as like people. I don't think they're gonna start talking about it as far as like telling the spoilers and stuff.
No, I'm literally going to avoid every
Yeah,
aspect
I'm
I can.
sure I will because I'm not gonna be able to avoid personally finding out if people really like the movie or not. I'm
Oh
gonna want to
yeah,
know
that.
if it's good,
But
and
that
I'm
you
gonna
can
want to know
that we're
if
gonna
they
hear.
think it's. Yeah, I want to know if they think it's better than the first Avengers, and I want to know how it holds up against the rest of the Marvel universe. As far as individual plot details, I don't need to know anything. It's pretty close. I mean, for you, it's literally less than a week
I
away.
know, dude. It's gonna be tight. I'm not gonna
Right.
tell you about it though.
Oh, you won't be able to because I'm going to be AWOL from the internet
What?
until
So we can't record a one. We can't record one next week.
uh, it's going to be tough.
Come
It's going
on,
to be
man.
tough.
I won't. I seriously won't say anything to you.
Nah, it's
That
going to
would
be.
be so
Do you,
dickish of me.
it's not about what you would volunteer information wise. I'm going to be way too tempted to want to know everything that happened.
And my memory is shit house, so it's not like I want to
Yeah.
remember everything.
So I'm gonna be like, oh man, fucking post credit scene, and then there's the Vision,
It's
and does
like,
he make out with Scarlet Witch? What happened?
is he cool? Just tell me
Yeah,
if he's cool.
do they make a baby together? Um, that is one thing I'm really curious about though, is if they're gonna have a hint at least any relationship stuff between Scarlet Witch and the Vision.
Would that be weird? Whatever.
To me, it wouldn't be weird. To me, it wouldn't be weird. I mean, because the Marvel universe is what it is. There's a talking raccoon, so why do I give shit about it being weird if a lady likes a robot, especially a sentient AI robot? If
Yeah.
he's sentient, then whatever. It's
And
just
especially
another
in the
dude.
world that we live in right now.
Yeah. Plus, girls have toys that aren't alive, and I imagine that if you could have one of those toys that is alive.
Oh, that's gold, dude.
Yeah, there's gotta be
That's
there's gotta be
gold.
some benefits to that, I imagine. Um, Anywho, So yeah, TV spots look cool. Next next thing going on is in the X-Men movies, they just made two big, I guess big, casting announcements.
Asians.
Yeah, the two Asian ladies. Um, they've cast Psylocke and they've cast
Jubilee.
Jubilee
Do you know
in
any of these
X-Men.
actors?
Yes, I
Actresses?
do. Um, the main one that has people talking right now, though, is
Psylocke?
Psylocke. Yeah, um, because she was cast with Olivia Munn taking up that part,
Yes.
and I've heard varying opinions on that choice.
Some say she's garbage.
Some say she's garbage. Some say she's hot, and that's all that matters.
Some say,
Um,
what? I thought Psylocke's Japanese.
yeah, it's definitely an issue to me in my mind, that casting. I don't have a problem with Olivia Munn's acting
Mm.
per se. I was just like Psylocke in my mind is very
Japanese.
specific looking. Yeah, she looks like a Japanese ninja.
Yeah.
And Olivia Munn, while she's like, attractive, I
Attractive.
guess,
She's not a
but it's just
Japanese.
not at all what I imagine. She's half white and half Chinese.
Yeah. She's
So
not
she's
even the right
yeah,
Asian.
she's Asian, cool, I
She's not even the
guess.
right Asian.
Right. And to the general fans, they'll go, she looks vaguely Asian, cool, whatever, that's fine. And she's acted in a bunch of stuff. I've seen her in things, and I didn't mind her in stuff. She plays lots of like weird, slutty characters on TV. But to me, like casting the Attack the Show chick as Psylocke is like casting Chris Hardwick as Gambit.
That would
You
be
know,
awful.
it would be. And he's a fine dude. He seems funny or whatever, but that's not who I imagine as one of my favorite X-Men characters, and Olivia Munn is not Psylocke in my mind. But maybe they'll put something out and she'll be fucking amazeballs and I'll change my mind. I mean, one of the big things to me though is Bryan Singer almost never gets their fucking costumes right.
Yep.
Psylocke has a very specific outfit.
Yep.
I can't imagine
They're
that we're
never
going to
gonna do
get that
that.
outfit in the
No.
movie.
No
And so in
way.
my mind, I'm like, what is the fucking point? What is the point? Why even include her? If
I
you're gonna miscast it and you're not even gonna make the outfit look like her, then why even call it Psylocke? Just to use a different character.
I don't know, dude. Maybe she's gonna have that the Crimson Dawn mark on her face.
Maybe, but even still, it's just not wouldn't be my particular choice, I
Here's my
imagine.
thing about this casting and like the announcements of these characters that are being
Mhm.
cast. We don't even know the capacity of their roles in this film.
Well, I've heard that that Jubilee is supposed to have a larger role than she's ever
Oh.
had before in the
Well, you
X-Men.
mean a nothing role, like in the previous ones, where she's the background prop, almost?
Well, she's had things to do, but they never refer to her by name, so that to me makes her less important,
Yeah,
certainly. Like I think she gets teleported out of a dungeon by Nightcrawler in X-Men 2,
that's
and she
cool.
puts an apple on Professor Xavier's desk in the first movie.
Yep.
And then Psylocke is in X-Men 3, but they never refer to her by name.
Was she? See, there you go. I don't even know. I don't remember X-Men 3, to be honest.
Right. Even if you did, you wouldn't know it was her because they never refer to her by name and she looks nothing like the character. It's
Which one
just
was
an
she supposed
Asian
to be?
girl. There's an Asian girl that's in it that has like a short haircut that's slightly purple or something.
Oh,
And
and that's her, right? Because it's purple slightly.
right,
Cool.
she's one of actually the kind of like bad guy mutants or something.
Okay, there was a bunch. Yeah, the evil mutants were like,
Yeah, she hung out with the chick that was like Superman looking.
mm,
Do you know what I'm talking about?
vaguely.
She was super mannish for some reason, and she had like I don't know, it was earthquake powers, or she was like Hulk clapping and like blasting stuff away.
Thunderclaps.
Yeah, she had thunderclap powers. Um, and but yeah, Psylocke's character doesn't do anything, but she's there. They say it is her in the credits or whatever. Um, But yeah, I'm expecting more of that kind of shit. And you know what? I didn't even know and notice at first, but they tried to even give her they tried to give her the Crimson, what did you call it? Crimson Dawn?
Isn't it Crimson Dawn? I forget what it's called. I think that's
I
what it's
don't
called.
remember, dude.
The Mark?
That version of her was so long ago that I promise I don't know what it was
Okay.
called. Um,
I'm
but
proper
yeah,
wrong.
hopefully she has a more significant part. Hopefully Jubilee has a more
Because and then
significant
you've
part.
got Gambit as well, and like, are they overloading this again? Is he gonna,
I don't
watch?
know if Gambit is in it. I
He's
don't know if
not.
Gambit is.
He's just gonna get
I
his own movie.
He's getting his own movie, but I don't know if he's in it because this one is supposed to be in the 80s or whatever. Um,
Okay, that's
so
Psylocke. All right.
yeah, that's Psylocke in X-Men 3.
At least she looks Asian.
Yeah, she's actually an Asian girl. Um,
Olivia
and
Munn.
the and the chick that they cast as Jubilee is actually Asian.
Oh, that's good.
Though she's like a nobody that I've ever heard of actress.
How
Um,
about if it was Knives from Scott Pilgrim?
I'd be totally fine with that.
I would be too.
I would be totally fine with that. In
Yeah.
fact, that would be great
Wouldn't it,
casting.
right? That's why in my head I was like, they should just done that, man. Put the fucking hoop earrings, yellow jacket, bang.
Yeah,
Again, there's
and
Jubilee right there.
the chick that is playing her's name is Lana Condor.
What? Condor, bird.
Yeah, and she's looks like an Asian girl. I mean, I remember I don't know anything about her. I don't think I've seen her in anything. Um, so there's nothing really to get like super excited about with that casting, except for yay, they picked an Asian. Maybe they were just like, oh, we can't have two girls that look distinctively Asian in this movie. They'll never
Oh,
be able to tell
that's
them
yeah.
apart.
Do you reckon that's what execs would be saying?
Dude, I promise you, there's at least one of the
Yeah,
executives behind that movie that had that concern. I
I
guarantee.
reckon. Yeah, it's like we can't cast a Japanese lady
You.
as Psylocke. It's like why? Because they might mistake her for Jubilee.
Yeah. Plus, if you do, then you gotta cast one that's like super weird looking, like the what was the assassin like badass chick in Wolverine,
It
where
was
her eyes
dope.
are like
Yeah,
hella far apart.
it
She's
was dope.
playing. She's Katana and Arrow.
Hmm.
She's also on Game of Thrones this
I know
season.
that in the first episode.
Yeah, it was really random,
That's why I
but
was like, what? That was weird.
But yeah, so they cast the Asian ladies. Hopefully it's cool. I really don't understand the new timeline they've created.
I don't know, dude. I'm
Because
confused by it because they've got
Jubilee's in
like
it, Psylocke is in it, but now it's in the 80s and they are at least as young as they were in those other movies.
also
And Angel, Warren
yeah, but
Worthington,
they're
I'm
friends with
assuming it's Warren
like
Worthington.
I mean, and in this very same movie, you've got a young,
Yeah, you've got young
Cyclops, a young
Cyclops,
Jean.
young Jean
Yeah,
Grey, and
so
Storm.
it's like what?
Yeah, no clue.
Like
I don't know if just them going back and making it so the Sentinels don't exist is
really destroyed?
enough
Like
to.
it destroyed time.
Yeah, it's enough to make all of these people born generations earlier is weird, but
And Psylocke is
whatever.
old.
Yeah, Psylocke is older. She's in her
Yeah, compared to
30s.
them, anyways. So
So I guess she's not going to be around for the
in the
later stuff.
future, I don't know. And an angel, yeah, the angel one confuses me because I'm like, wait, wasn't he like a teenager in part three, and now he's like a full adult, or is this a different
Yeah, it's
angel?
really. I don't like. Is it even to me? It's. I don't even know why you would make Archangel anyone but Warren Worthington's character.
Yeah.
It just seems bizarre to me. But one thing I am hoping for that I haven't heard anything about is that there's some reference or appearance of uh, Mr. Sinister.
Yeah, that'd be rad.
That'd be and because I'm pretty sure he had a lot to do with helping make the like wings and shit for Archangel. So hopefully there's something to do with that. And I
That
mean,
would be
I'm also
cool.
excited for the return of Nightcrawler, who's going to be considerably younger now. Uh,
Hopefully less tattoos.
hopefully less shark fucking teeth for
But you
some
know
reason.
what?
Right,
Since they altered time, maybe it's
right,
entirely different.
right. They could certainly alter their
Just
designs as well.
because they're like, yeah, no one cares really.
I'm hoping though with Jubilee that they go, even though it's 80s now, I'm hoping that they make it look like
You
92
know,
Jubilee.
dude, they bloody better. It's the perfect excuse to.
Yep.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like think about the fashion in the '80s.
To me, that's the perfect excuse to do all of the outfits look more
That's
like the comic book.
exactly. You know what though? He's not gonna. He seems so opposed to it.
Yeah, Bryan Singer. I don't know
What the
what the
hell's the
fuck.
deal? What is the deal with that?
I don't know.
Because it's not realistic.
I don't know. I don't know what his deal is. If you know, the closest he's ever got was like Bishop and Blink. They were the closest look to the
Blink
comics.
was almost like almost dead on, like a movie verse version.
All right.
You know,
But it
even though
looked
they
like
inverted.
Blink.
Yeah, but
They made her Asian for some
Blink.
reason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it was like, well, she's got different colored skin, Asian.
Yeah. But, you know, Bryan Singer, man,
I don't know, whatever.
he's a good director, I guess, but I just
Uh,
wish he'd let up the reins on the
on
costumes
the
because
costumes, yeah. I
I
don't.
really want to see something closer. If they can make Deadpool look like he stepped out of a comic book like that, and
Yeah,
it's Fox's
I
production and
know it's
everything,
Fox.
then come on, give us costumes that look
Hey man,
accurate.
remember Fox also gave us those. I mean, they weren't great. They were bad. The Fantastic Four films, they at least had costumes.
They did have costumes, and
And
the
Silver
look of them
Surfer
was fine.
was Silver Surfer.
Right. Well, you know, Silver Surfer is hard to fuck up.
It's you know what though, Silver
He's a
Surfer
vacant silver dude.
is easy to screw up. They did
He's
it
easy
though.
to screw up if you just add anything to it.
That's
But he's the
exactly.
most simple design that once you change anything about it, it's gonna look dumb. So I think they made the right call.
I'm glad they weren't
He'd look
like.
like
I'm glad
Silver
they weren't
Surfer.
like. Let's give him underwear.
Yeah, let's make his surfboard not a
Yeah.
surfboard, cause
Let, let,
it just
let's
makes
let's
sense.
give him trunks, because he's a surfer. Makes sense. Got swimming trunks.
That looks so dumb.
He's got swimming trunks.
That looks so dumb.
It's like Galactus designed.
That'd be the best.
It's smoke. It's a giant
Yeah,
cloud.
it could have been worse. I'm glad that it wasn't.
Yes.
Um, what else is up?
But yeah, they cast those two.
That's well, you know, I could think that was for the most part that was pretty much it. I guess they had the Wonder Woman
Oh yeah,
movie
dang.
change directors.
That's right. That's right.
Uh,
The new director is Patty Jenkins. She directed Monster.
right. You know, my thing with this, they replaced her really quickly. The
Right?
the
It's
last
almost
lady, I
like
can't remember her name
it
now, but
almost feels like the original, director of it left a while back then.
right. And you know, that's all, they do that. You know,
Yeah.
they took a while to announce it
Yeah.
until they had someone else to put up, and that's fine.
Exactly. That makes sense, so they don't want
I
people
think
worrying too much.
my thing with the Wonder Woman stuff.
Is that it's confusing?
No, I like they might have done this. So what I'm about to say, it could be the case, but I think that they are putting too much emphasis on trying to find a female director
Yes.
instead of just finding the
A good
best director
yeah.
for the film.
Exactly.
And you know, maybe she was the best person for the job, and they just happened to find another female or whatever. But I think that they're just putting way too much importance on Wonder Woman. It's a girl character. The director has to be a girl too. And I don't think that that is the case. I think, you know, if the script is good and you find the best director possible for whatever this vision is you have of that movie, you know, and hopefully that's what happens. But I don't. To me, it's like and you know, the same thing could kind of apply to the Psylocke issue, and maybe it's what happened. But I think you cast the best person for the job instead of just going like, oh, she's gotta have ovaries or whatever. So maybe Olivia Munn, she did something crazy in that
Yeah.
audition, and they were like, she's got to be it. She's
Yeah.
dope. She's the best Japanese, not Japanese
Yeah. Well,
assassin I've ever
it's
seen.
not even that. It's like she's basically portrayed the way the character is written on this page, the way the script, the way she's written in this script.
And I'm really curious how that's going to be written because Psylocke is kind of a weird character. You know, she's a white British woman in the brain put into a Japanese woman's ninja body.
Maybe that's
So
why maybe they just scrapped the whole white lady in a Japanese body and they just made her half.
But even if she's half man, she's still not. She's still
Japanese.
not a Japanese
I
ninja.
know. Still, dude, it's that's probably not going to be the Psylocke that we're going to get, though.
Yeah, I mean they could skip the fact that she's related to Captain Britain and
Can they
just
use
make her a
Captain Britain?
Japanese ninja. I have no idea. I have no idea. Maybe they've got Excalibur. I really don't know.
It's got X in it.
It does. But yeah, so Wonder Woman director, I feel kind of the same way. Maybe, maybe she ended up doing something or she had a crazy vision or whatever, but I just
Do you
think that they
reckon?
they
Do you
tried too hard to make it a lady.
do you reckon Disney will do the same or do a similar thing with Captain Marvel?
I think that was probably their plan. I know that they seemed like they were trying to do like all the black characters. We should get a black guy director because it's a black character.
Yeah.
Like I know when they were talking about doing a Luke Cage movie for a while, they were trying to get like John Singleton to do it,
Mm.
and Tyrese was trying to play Luke Cage, and
Yeah. No.
those different stuff. And I just again, it's the same deal. I just think hire the best person.
Yeah.
They don't have to be like they don't have to
Anything.
be the same gender or same race
No.
to make that movie happen. When you make Thor, you don't cast like a Viking just
Yeah.
because you want it to be,
Closest to it.
it's just weird,
Yeah.
I don't understand that part of it, but what are you gonna do? Hopefully it turns out amazing. And I want to be excited about Wonder Woman, so hopefully it's dope. Because I
Yeah.
think that out of the big three,
From DC.
Batman and Wonder Woman are more interesting to me than Superman is. So hopefully Wonder Woman's movie reflects that. I wonder if they'll make it so that she can fly. I hope that they do a live action version of her invisible jet because that would be amazing.
How would you do it?
I don't know, like Predator style.
Oh yeah, like a camo.
Yeah, and just make it so that, she's kind of invisible in it too, because otherwise
It'd be
that's gonna look
stupid,
really
yeah.
silly
If
with her
she's just
sitting
kind
there.
of sitting there.
But you know what I was thinking of? If what if they had her fly it in a you know how like Batman rides his pod thing,
Yep.
his pod bike,
Yep.
where he's kind of laying on it?
Yep.
What if they have her fly it where she's kind of laying in it and it looks almost like she is just flying without the jet? It looks like flying with her arms forward like Superman does or whatever,
That's
but
weird
she's
still.
flying the thing.
Because
So
it looks
like
like she's
she
riding nothing in air.
no, it wouldn't look like she's riding. Like her legs could be together, like she's flying. It will look like she's flying, but she's just
In her
like
jet.
using a thing. Yeah,
That's an
I think
idea.
that would be a way to do it without it being her just sitting in the air.
No, because yeah, 'cause her just sitting straight in the air looks
Yeah,
dumb.
right. I meant a long time ago I was actually going to draw that idea I had of her, piloting the jet, but in a way that looks like she's flying without it.
Yeah, you can still do it.
Because I think that could be really neat. But I'm also lazy and I don't really want to draw a jet.
Yay.
But it's invisible, so okay. So let's push right on through. We got a
Yep.
couple
We got
emails.
2 listener emails.
Do you have them up where you could read them?
The emails
Yes.
I do. The first one comes from Michael Temple. He's emailed us before. Thanks again, Michael. Okay, this email says, "Hey guys, love the show, huge fan. With Sony/Marvel looking at young 15 to 16-year-old candidates for Spider-Man 2, choices came to mind, and they're both from Game of Thrones. My first one is Thomas Brody, Sangster. He played Jojen Reed in Game of Thrones. He was him and
He
his
was
sister.
Rand's
Yeah, guide.
guide. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
He was the one that got stabbed by the skeleton.
Yeah, that was sad. That was sad.
Right.
He was also in the running to play. He was supposed to be the original Tintin.
Yeah, I could imagine that.
Anyways,
But go ahead.
email continues. I think he's a phenomenal actor who has the ability to play both serious and weak character, like he did on the show, and like Peter Park. Wait, like Peter Park does in everyday life. Peter Park? Who's Peter Park?
Yeah.
I think it means Peter Parker.
I'm sure
Although
it
he looks
does.
very young, I was very shocked to find out he's actually 24 years old.
Wow.
He looks like a high school teenager.
He really does.
He does, right? I was 24, dang. My second choice would be Isaac Hempstead, right? Who also, who is also from Game of Thrones, Bran Stark. He's
Right.
15 years old, and he actually does look like Peter Parker. I think his acting ability is top notch, but also has a nerdy slash innocent side that makes me think he could be a perfect fit to walk the Peter Parker Spider-Man shoes. Or Hempstead as Peter Parker. Or take what you said, guys, as Thomas Brody Sangster could be Harry Osborn, the popular rich kid,
Hmm.
who's a great high who looks out for Isaac Hempstead Parker. Peter Parker, the smart, shy kid who always keeps to himself. What are your thoughts?
Um, well, firstly, for the Thomas Brody Sangster,
Yep.
I think yeah, he could totally. I could imagine
I
him
could
playing
definitely
Harry.
see him, yeah. Like, cause he has that intensity as well when he gets serious.
Hmm. And I could totally see that happening.
What about
He's got the right look for it, certainly.
what about
The
Isaac
Isaac
Hempstead?
Hempstead, I think that his look is fine.
Yes. Your concern is whether he can pull off Spider-Man, right?
Specifically the humor, because from what they've
Oh.
been saying about Spider-Man in
Mm.
this new movie is that they want to emphasize the fact that when he's out of the suit, again, I think that they were listening to the podcast.
They clearly were.
When he's out of the suit, he's supposed to be awkward around people and shy and nerdy and
I think he
and
could pull
not
that
sure of
off.
himself.
I think the actor can
Yeah,
pull
I'm
it
sure
off.
he could play that off. And but when he's in the suit, he's supposed to be
Invincible.
nonstop wit,
Yeah.
nonstop joking. Like his big mouth, relentless talking to people is one of his superpowers. Really,
Yeah.
it's part of what makes him aggravating to his villains is that he just doesn't shut up. And I don't know that
If he's
this dude
capable of it yet.
has the I don't know that he has the charisma to be able to do that with people like Robert Downey Jr.
The thing about this
and
though,
Chris Evans.
I don't like we're not very familiar with this guy's acting capabilities yet.
Certainly not, but I mean, based on him playing Bran, I don't think he does like an amazing job of playing
No.
Bran Stark. I think Bran Stark
Is the
his character
character.
is
Yeah.
yeah, he's his character I guess it might be part of that because his personality isn't very boisterous or whatever, so you don't get to see him do much.
Mm.
In the He doesn't have like a whole lot of range in his emotions in the show, so we don't get to see a lot of that. But just based purely on that, I mean, the kid seems like a really nice guy.
Yep.
When I've seen him talk in interviews and stuff, he seems like a really, really nice kid, a really genuine kid, but
Yep.
not what I imagined for Peter, who has to have this just intense charisma when he's Spider-Man, you know?
Again though, dude, like I'm not ruling him out
I'm not. I
because
think his look is fine
his
for
look
it.
is
I
solid.
think
I
he's
think
got a
yeah.
sort of light bulb shaped head, so the mask might look a bit weird on him. But if you've got the shell, the face shell thing in there,
Yeah.
then that solves a lot of that problem. They'll even it out or whatever. So I think he could do it. I wouldn't say he couldn't.
Yeah.
He's just as good of a choice to
As
me as the
anybody.
Carl pick.
Yeah.
I think he's equal to the Carl
Which
pick
I
that they
honestly
could both do.
think are better than the ones that they're recommending right now.
Right. I think that they look better than the ones that they've been rumoring, but I also don't know if this kid can do an American accent,
We
and I
don't.
don't know that he could do it well enough to be able to be the kid that talks constantly, you know.
That's true, because that's another thing.
Um, but good enough choice. I think both of those are solid.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. I think it would totally work out. Good picks.
Yeah.
Good
Like
picks,
just
Mike.
like thanks for listening.
Yeah, man,
And
and thanks for sending in. Please, guys,
absolutely.
send in more emails. We want to answer your questions. It
Absolutely.
can be about anything. It doesn't have to
Anything.
be movie related,
No.
but
Comics, whatever.
just send stuff
Just
in. Whatever.
send questions. Okay, next email's from Joel Robinson. I probably pronounced his name wrong, but
Joel,
Joel Robinson then.
if
Okay.
there's a dash in there,
There
I
is a
imagine
yes, it's Joel Robinson then. Hey fellas, could I request you guys talk about fighting game fan cast? I would love a Fatal Fury movie starring Chris Hemsworth as Terry Bogard and Neil McDonough as Geese Howard. Sure, Chris is a bit older to play him, but of course it would be an older Terry. Thanks, gentlemen.
Well, I gotta say the Chris Hemsworth, the Chris Hemsworth
Terry?
as Terry is hilarious to me.
Why?
I cannot imagine it at all because Chris Hemsworth is a giant person,
Yeah.
and maybe Terry could be giant, but I don't know. I also imagine like Terry as the like all American.
That's what I thought, and I'm like, he's very Australian.
He is, and I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't see it, but I can't at the same time say that he couldn't do it, and I can't say that he would be a bad choice, but he's definitely not what I imagine
I could see him
for Terry.
I could see him cosplay Terry.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, man. I don't know. But Neil McDonough is Geese.
That one's
He's Dum Dum, right?
yes,
Um,
yes. That one's also a
that one,
little.
I don't know, man. Because he didn't he play Bison?
I was gonna say he was Bison.
Yeah, and that was shit. So
It was not very Bison.
it was shit. It was not good at all. But that could have also been partially just because that movie was garbage.
Oh,
Because
I wouldn't
he's
say
obviously
partially.
he's
I
a
would
fine
say the
actor.
movie is garbage. So
Well, I'm saying
everybody.
it's not all his fault because the movie was crap. But I've seen him in things where he's good. Certainly, he's cool as Dum Dum,
It's great as
and I'm certain that he's a fair actor. I've seen him in other things, but I guess he could play Geese uh, if they're more loyal to what those characters are like than say the Street Fighter movies have been, then I think he could totally do it.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
I don't see the Fatal Fury becoming a film.
no, I think that if they were gonna do that, that would have happened in the
Yeah,
'90s. It
and
would have
also, I
happened
mean,
along
like
with
the
Street
fact that
Fighter.
they're already taking this long to do a decent Street Fighter, which is vastly more popular than Fatal Fury.
Right.
Then
And really the best version of Street Fighter we've ever gotten in live action was a web series. So,
which they actually compiled into a film, and it's pretty good.
and it's on Hulu. Street Fighter Assassin's Fist. You should check it out because it really is the best live
It is
action adaptation of
it's
Street
the
Fighter we've ever
best
got.
Street Fighter live action.
I can
Yes.
say it hands down,
Absolutely.
the best
Yep,
one.
the closest thing. I mean, there are
And
still
they
issues.
do a good job, man. To me, the issues are really minute
It's minute, but it's
because
just it's so silly.
my only issue with it is kind of Joey Ansa's
Akuma.
casting himself
Yeah,
as
that's no,
Akuma
that's my issue.
because he's a good martial artist and he plays the character fine, but just the look of him is nothing
The
like I
makeup
imagine
isn't very
Akuma
good
would
at
be.
all on it.
It's not.
Or how
And
he's supposed to be the original actor, then turning into that. I'm like, what happened?
right, you start out as an Asian dude and then turn into a giant buff black guy is kind of weird, but you know, otherwise, he made the movie, so at the same time, I give him a pass. If that's what we had to sacrifice to get the closest Street Fighter we've ever gotten, then good on you, dude. Be a
Hmm.
Kuma, whatever.
Yep.
So yeah, check it out. Fatal Fury could be cool.
I'd watch
I
it,
wouldn't
but
put it
yeah,
off.
I don't know who I would cast. It's so like,
I have no idea who I
I
would
mean,
cast.
we could probably do an
You know
episode
what? You know
special.
what?
What's up? Who?
I think Stephen Amell could have played Terry Bogard.
I could see that. I
I
could see
think
that.
he's.
Actually,
I
dude,
think
I could really see that.
I totally could.
That's weird. You just put a hat on him, and he's like. That's
Give him
weird.
the ponytail or whatever.
Yeah,
I
that's
could totally
weird,
see him
dude.
do.
Oh,
I don't know why that
bizarre.
randomly struck me, but
That is
I could
bizarre.
totally imagine it. And I would be okay with it
Yeah,
if
I'd
it
be
happened.
okay with that. He could be
Um,
both Terry Bogard and Casey Jones.
I know. I really am curious what the look of that character is going to be
I
now.
am too. I don't
because
know.
he can't be classic Casey Jones.
But he
He's
can't be
not going to
just
be able to fight
Arrow.
Cowboy and Bebop.
He can't just
Cowboy,
be
Cowboy
Cowboy
and
and
Bebop.
Bebop.
Amazing. Can you tell it is 7 in the morning and I haven't slept yet?
Cowboy and Bebop. That's
That's the
thug.
best. I'm
That
not
is
even gonna
thug.
correct it. You know what I meant.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, I can't imagine him fighting those guys just with a hockey stick and a Jason mask on. But
Seriously, though, also, yeah. I love how we just got back to turtles, but like,
right,
he's he has to. They have to change the way things are if he has to verse mutants who are super strong.
all right. But to segue back, I think that Chris Hemsworth and Neil McDonough would be, or McDonough. How do you say his name?
No
McDonough.
idea.
I think that both of them are good actors, and I could imagine them. I would like to see more video game movies being made in general.
Yes.
So I hope that that kind of stuff starts to happen. But yeah, I think we should
Like a
do a
yeah. I was gonna
fantasy
say like a
thing like we did for
fantasy.
Spider-Man, but we should do it for a video game movie. That would be
Yeah.
interesting.
Like not even just one video game movie. Maybe like two or three in one episode, just to have variety. Because I don't know how far we'll talk into about the film and stuff, but just
Guess it
casting.
depends on the movie, or
That's
it
true.
depends on the property.
That's
If it's
true.
got a lot of characters in it. We'll have to start brainstorming what
Yeah,
video
definitely.
casting. I think we should pick one that like Fatal Fury though that hasn't been made into a live action film.
So we can cross off Super Mario Brothers.
Right.
We can cross off Double Dragon.
Right.
Those are the
Uh,
only two that popped in my head.
no
Doom,
Tomb Raider, no Mortal Kombat.
no Doom.
Yeah, and they did actually have a Terry Bogard live action before
In what?
in King of Fighters. He was a cop or something.
What's that, Terrible God?
Yeah, man. He was like a detective
Oh
or something,
yeah, I remember that film.
and he looked nothing like Terry
Yeah,
Bogard.
I remember that film. That film was awful.
Yeah, there
That
was
film
nothing
was
good.
really awful.
Yeah, it was pretty legitly terrible.
They fought
But
with
he
swords
got
in
a
the end.
baseball cap that said Fatal Fury
They
on it.
fought with swords in the end, if I'm not mistaken.
Did they? I don't even
I think
remember.
it was just awful.
I just remember being I getting my feelings hurt by the casting of Maggie Q as Mai.
Yeah, you'd cast.
You cast like a skinny stick figure woman as like the super curvy Mai. I
Yeah,
don't
I
understand how
don't
that
get
works,
that.
but
But that film was garbage.
don't they like fight in their mind or something?
So I don't know. I don't
There
care.
was some
It's
weird
dumb.
thing where they used like a Bluetooth and fight in their mind or
Yeah,
something.
it was dumb. Tekken was
Yeah,
better than it.
Tekken was way better. The second one though, don't watch it because it
Oh, you
didn't make
watched it?
any sense. I skimmed the movie
How
and
was it?
I'm pretty sure that if you didn't have the Tekken title card at the beginning, that movie had nothing to do with Tekken. I
Okay,
think it
cool.
only has Kazuya and I think Heihachi might be in it still,
Same
but
actor?
none of the other characters. I don't think so.
Because I actually enjoyed the Tekken movie.
Yeah, the first Tekken movie was decent because
Yeah.
I think that they made
They made sure the
the
fighting
good
was great.
decision that well that too, but I think that the a lot of like video game movies they go don't make it like the video game because people will think it's dumb. And I think Mortal Kombat is one of the best ones that have ever made because they made it a tournament movie like they should have done,
Yep.
which they didn't do with either of the Street Fighter movies, which is why those movies were garbage.
Yep.
But Mortal Kombat did it, and I think Tekken did it fairly well.
Yep. They got
You
actual
know,
fighters.
they got real martial artists, which is
Hmm.
why, the acting isn't amazing,
Yeah, but
but
the
at
fighting
least,
was ace.
yeah, at least the fighting is good and the story is closer to what we wanted it to be.
Hmm.
But, they very seldomly trust the video games to be good. They just go, let's just keep the name because that's all people care about is the name of the game. But fantasy video games, we should totally do that.
Totally.
But lastly, I guess we can do a quick run through of our artists and music picks for this week.
Yeah,
You have one prep to go.
I do. Artists that we're into. My pick is dogsup.deviantart.com.
Dogs up.
DOGSUP. That's it. They're a South Korean artist, and I like seeing their pieces because they draw a lot of like fan art of American comics, but in their style, and it's really
Hmm.
nice because it's seeing characters that you're familiar with in comics, but not drawn the way that they are in the comics. If that makes
Right.
sense, because their style itself. I'm gonna pass a link over to Royce right now, but I will paste this link in the message that goes with the
I'm
episode,
looking
like I
right
have
now.
before. And yeah, I just like their stuff. It's really the loose sketches are great, but their color stuff is also really bonkers.
Yeah, I like the Wolvies one.
Yeah,
That one's pretty fun.
yeah, that one's a good one.
Yeah, they've got a cool style to it.
I like it.
The Cassie one is cool. The
I got a lot of good
Shulkies is
ones.
cool. Yeah, I think I've seen the Shulkies one before actually somewhere.
Oh, okay.
But otherwise I don't think I've seen this guy's page before or girl.
Unsure, but dope
You never
stuff.
know.
No, they don't say.
And it's hard
Regardless,
to
dope
tell with
stuff.
styles. The style to me reads like it's probably a girl, but you really never know.
No, you don't.
You, you really never know. Um,
Love it. Check it out.
and Yeah, definitely check it out. It's really cool. The style's really neat. You can learn something for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Just like it's, especially if like you just read comic books,
Yeah.
seeing characters that you're familiar with depicted in another style definitely helps the way you can actually interpret characters yourself. So
hmm
definitely check this person in particular out because it should assist in that aspect.
And for my pick,
Yep.
I am picking Joel 27 on DeviantArt.
Dope.
It's just the name Joel, Joel 27.deviantart.com. And this dude, man, it's not like he's unknown, but not enough people to me know about the guy because he's really solid. The guy's
Really,
rendering is crazy.
really.
Uh, yeah, he's capable of stuff that I don't see a lot of people doing.
I've got some of
And
his comic books in French, and I'm like, I still don't
his
understand
Claw
it, but
book
it's so
is
good.
crazy good. Claw looks amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm very jealous that you have those and I do not have those.
I can't read it
Um,
still, but I still look at the pictures.
Still, man, just for to look at that artwork, whenever you need some inspirato, this guy,
Oh yeah,
he's
no doubt.
definitely able. And speaking of like the same with the dog sup, his fan art is really crazy cool. And because you don't see a whole lot of fan art from these particular types in this style, you just don't get to see
Mm.
that because his style is so distinct. Like he's got a Red Sonja piece that I really like.
Oh, that one's
Uh,
great, right?
yeah, he's got some Star Wars stuff that's really good. Um,
He does draw adult stuff as well,
he does, yeah, there is some not safe for work artwork, certainly, so be
but
warned.
be warned about that. He's got like a sick impossible. There's just like he draws like She-Hulk. That She-Hulk is ace. That
Yeah,
Hulk is
he
dope.
did a couple Wolverine and X-23 pieces that
Yeah.
are some of my favorites of his.
Mm.
The way that it is done is crazy to me. Like the background almost looks like a photo, but it's
Yep,
just
that
you
was
can see it's
painted.
all the brush marks, it's all his painting, but yeah, the dude's just crazy good and it's intimidatingly good, I would say.
Yeah.
I look at it and it makes me sad but inspired at the same time because I'd love to be able to do the kind of stuff that this guy can do. I'd love to be able to see in my mind the way this guy sees on paper.
Ah, dude. Like just the way he lays out a piece,
Yeah.
the compositions and stuff. I don't know. Like, I have no idea how you would even like how to begin doing some of
He's
those
got
things.
like a Scooby-Doo piece. that is really cool, where it looks like all the whole cast like shoved in a locker, kind
Yeah,
of.
that was great, right?
Yeah,
Look
that
at the
one
look
is
at yeah, just
fantastic.
look
The
at that.
angle of
The
that,
composition of that.
how it was handled, it really is crazily well done. And
It's
I don't think that I would even come up with something like that in my mind, let alone successfully execute it. So
also his
he's
rendering
definitely worth
style.
checking out.
It's messy, but it's
It's
still
messy, but
very
it's very
precise.
good. He knows lighting well enough to where all the choices feel right,
Yes, and that's
even if
like
they're not like rendered to
I
perfection.
want a color like this.
Yeah, just to be able to do that, because I imagine that it looks like it doesn't take him very long,
I
but
know, and
that could be the illusion of
that's
like
true.
he's so good that it makes it look easy, you
That's
know?
true. And that happens very often, it seems.
Yeah, but he's just crazy good, man. There's one on here called UFO Girl. Uh, and I really like it's simple, but I just really like how everything is drawn there. It's just kind of the same character drawn four times, but I just really like it. I think the dude's crazy good, and again, I'm jealous that you have those books because I'd love to be able to just source those at any random moment. Because
I got a lot of
he's too
European
good.
books that I just look at. I'm like, yeah, you
And
got to get
his
better.
artwork when he's doing like a full thing, like his sketches and stuff, again, they're fantastic. But his like finished comic work is even more stellar to
Yeah,
me.
it's basically it's his sketches refined.
Right. So all the lines are cleaner and everything. It just the dude's crazy good, man. That like Supergirl thing that he did, it looks like it took him no time, but
I
it's
know, and it's
wicked.
like you'd make a print of that and be like, "Yep,
Yeah, you could literally print just that
dude,
with all the
he's
sketch
Gotham
lines in it,
Girls.
and people would, go bonkers
His
over it.
Gotham Girls piece is still one of my favorites.
I don't remember which one that one
Oh,
is.
it's just got like Harley, Catwoman, Ivy, Batwoman, Batgirl in it. It's titled
Well,
Gotham
I
Girls.
believe it's crazy good
Yeah.
because pretty much everything that guy's
Yeah.
got on his page is
Anyway, yeah,
crazy
we'll have
good.
the links up so you can definitely check them out if you're not familiar with them already.
And
You'd be
but do it,
surprised.
definitely do it. The guy is bonkers. Um, and on to music real quick. You got one for that?
Yeah, I found one that you remember how I mentioned I had two before?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna pick any of those. I'll use them next time. This one here, if I'm not mistaken, she was actually
Also, that Gotham Girls one is crazy good. I just
yeah, you just saw it. This female singer name
mm-hmm.
is Olivia Millershin. Millershin.
Mm-hmm.
She, I think, entered one of those like singing contests or something in America. I have
Mm-hmm.
no idea. Anyway, uh, I guess it's pop. Her music is pop, but it's just relaxing to listen to. Her voice,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I've been listening to that for the past week, and I'm like, yeah, it's just easy to work to.
She was apparently on America's Got
There
Talent.
we go. The one song, which like I like the title, but she never says it in this entire song. Is called "The Only Things on My Mind Are Tacos and You." I thought the title was great.
I feel like I've heard just the name of that song before
Probably.
then.
But she doesn't say it at all in the song. Well, she made me a little sad, but it's still a catchy tune. Yeah.
Well, she's got lots on YouTube apparently,
Yep.
so
She's also on Spotify, which I will include a link of that. But yep, your choice.
and for mine it's just a short EP again, but I think those are good sometimes. They get the point across.
Yeah.
Um my pick this week is Solo. The album is called Solo, and
Bye.
it's just a 4-track EP by Keys and Crates.
Keys and crates.
And it's kind of dancey music. It's got heavy thumping beats, but they're sort of faster paced. They're music that I draw to pretty much. So there's a song in particular on there called Dum Dee Dum, which is very catchy. There's not even really any lyrics, but It's
The
just
beat is
fun to
catchy enough,
dance.
right? Yeah.
Right. The beat is good. I mean, we really all four of the songs have good beats, so they all work. There's one called Ratchet Hose with a
Ratchet Hose.
right. And I think the only thing it ever says is "Ratchet Hose don't give a fuck." I think is the only lyric in the whole thing.
Sometimes that's all you need to say.
But the beat is very thumpy. It's kind of that one in particular is kind of trap music-y. Um, and it's kind of, I mean, in general, it's kind of trap music-y, but it's it's dance music, not like Euro dance, but hip hoppy dance.
Yeah.
But specifically, the one I would recommend the most out of there is Dum Dee Dum. I love that one.
Dum
That
Dee
beat is
Dum?
fun to me.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
include that. I'll have that playing in the background.
Great. But yeah, I would recommend checking that one out. It's called Solo. It's only four joints. Came out in 2013, I think, but it's still good. It stands up with the music of 2 years later. So,
That's a good sign, though, right?
right. But yeah, I would definitely recommend checking that one out. Great music to work to. Gotta say that one more time. Great music to work to. But I think that covers everything.
That should be it for this week, I think.
So with all that said, hope to see you guys / not see you guys again next week.
Hopefully we can record next week, even though Royce is going to
Hopefully
be
we'll have to. Well, it's the 16th now, so we'll
right.
have to just record
on the
on
22nd.
on the 22nd
Oh, wait, no.
for you
No,
/ 21st for me. So next
yeah, no.
Tuesday is
It
the
would have to
deadline
be.
for recording.
It'd have to be Tuesday, at least for me. Tuesday. No, not Tuesday. I think Wednesday. Yeah, we'd have to record
Yeah.
Tuesday for me because Wednesday is when I'll be watching it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's deadline for recording next week.
Hopefully we'll have news by then. I know we'll have
Yeah,
we can talk about the Batman v Superman trailer.
Yeah, because that'll be out Monday, so we'll at least have that to talk about.
At least that.
But yeah, so with that said,
Thanks for joining us.
see you next
folks.
time, guys. Stay chipper, chaps.
Stay chipper.